Hello and welcome to the Peace at Home Masterclass. I am so excited to have you here. My name is Katie. I am a mindfulness teacher and a meditation teacher. I worked for about 8 years with schools. I work with families and I work with parents as well. And I wanted to offer this masterclass so that I could teach people how simple it is to create more peace at home by using mindfulness. So when we think of meditation, usually we think we need a lot of peace and calm and quiet. And when I work with children, I practice more mindfulness than meditation because you're a parent, you have met a child before, you know that they don't want to sit still, and therefore sitting quietly in meditation, which is where we sit, and we will do it in a few minutes, but we will sit and we'll close our eyes and we'll notice how we're feeling. And if there is a lot of chaos and noise around us, we won't do it. So children aren't going to do that. It's not going to be so easy for them. But what is very easy for them is being aware of what they're doing when they're doing it. So when we practice mindfulness, that is when we are aware of what we're doing when we're doing it. So you're eating your dinner. You're aware of what the food looks like. You're aware of the feeling of the cutlery in your hands. You're aware of the taste and the sensations in your mouth. That is mindfulness. And that is more of what we do when children are around. But tonight I am going to show you a few different really simple techniques that you can use in order to help your children practice mindfulness and therefore feel calmer. So the structure of the masterclass is we are going to practice a meditation, and the reason we're practicing a meditation first is because if I go into start talking about different techniques and different things that you can use to help your children feel calm, you will not take it in because you're stressed. So if we look at my glitter bottle here, it looks really, really busy. It looks really, really noisy. There's a lot happening in it. So if we throw in more glitter, you're not going to notice. It's not going to make much of a difference and it won't stick. But if I hold the glitter bottle still, you can see that it's getting quieter inside. And that is what will happen with your mind when we have practiced some meditation. So that is why we're going to start with a meditation. Then I'm going to talk to you about an offer that I have, a course that I am running that I think will help. I know it will help expand the amount of peace that you can create within your home, because it will give you an opportunity to work with me for longer and you'll be able to use these different techniques and then come back and ask for support if it is more challenging to bring them into the house than you had previously expected. And then after that, I'm going to give you 3 different things that you can use with your children starting in about 10 minutes after this masterclass. So they'll be really simple things that you don't need to, most of the time you don't need anything extra with them, and you'll be able to either do it with your children or you'll be able to give it to them so that they can do it at times of high stress and anxiety for them. So we're going to start with a meditation. So if you've never meditated before, that is absolutely fine, and you are very welcome. If you have meditated, you're also welcome. But we are going to sit or lie any way that feels comfortable. I don't believe that you can meditate. You have to meditate in any particular position, because if you're meditating and you notice that you're feeling really uncomfortable because you're trying to sit up really straight and in a particular way, you will not want to meditate. It will be uncomfortable, and all the meditation will be about is how uncomfortable you feel. So if at any point during this you feel cold, I have a wee blanket here. Get yourself a blanket and put it on you. Move if you need to, if it feels uncomfortable, but move slowly and with awareness. And it's all about you. It's whatever happens and comes up for you. So you cannot do this wrong, I promise. So I want you to sit comfortably, and you can either close or soften your eyes, and we're bringing the awareness out of our busy, noisy head and down into our physical body. So noticing the shape that you've put your body in right now. Noticing the parts of you that are in contact with the bed or the chair or whatever it is you're resting on. Noticing if it's hard or soft. Does what you're resting on feel comfortable? We're just noticing and we're breathing. There's nothing right or wrong. And now we're going to bring our awareness to our feet. To noticing whether you can feel socks or shoes in your feet. Noticing if your feet are warm or cold. What are the parts of your feet that are in contact with the floor or bed or whatever you have your feet on? And then we're going to notice how our lower legs feel. So just bringing the awareness up from our feet into our calves and our shins. How do your calves and your shins feel right now? What are they resting on? Bringing your awareness into your knees. Can you feel any pain in your knee? And then noticing how your thighs are feeling. Can you feel the weight of your thighs on the bed or the chair? The weight of your bum. Can you feel clothes on your legs? Do your legs feel warm or cold? We're just noticing and breathing. Knowing that there's nothing right or wrong. All we're doing is noticing. So if you notice that your mind is really busy, you're thinking about other things, your mind is distracted, that is perfectly normal. And the practice is to just notice that that's happened. Notice you're thinking about something else. And then bring your awareness back. Back to noticing how your legs are feeling right now. Knowing there's nothing right or wrong. And you have nothing to do right now but sit here and breathe. Everything that needs to be done, everything that you have to do can be done in a few moments. We're breathing and noticing. And now I want you to bring your awareness to your back. To noticing how your back is feeling right now. Your lower back, your middle back, and your upper back into your shoulder blades and your shoulders. Just noticing, is your back leaning against anything? Can you feel your clothes on your back? Can you feel any movement in your back? When we breathe, our lungs expand and we usually think about our chest. But our lungs are in the back of our body just as much as they're in the front. So just noticing if you can feel any movement of the breath when you take a breath in and a breath out in your back. And we'll take our awareness fully into our shoulders now. Noticing if you can feel any tightness or tension in your shoulders. Are your shoulders moving as you breathe? Maybe notice if you can feel your upper arms moving as you breathe. What is that like? How does that feel? And then bringing your awareness down from your upper arms through your elbows into your lower arms. Noticing the shape your arms are in right now. What are your arms resting on? And there's nothing right or wrong. So whatever you're noticing is coming up. Just see if you can allow that to be there. Just be aware, noticing, even if what you're noticing is a lot of noise and thoughts. It's not wrong, it just is. And then I want you to bring your awareness into your hands. Noticing what your hands are resting on. The shape of your fingers. What are your hands touching? We touch things all the time, but we don't really take much time to notice what we're touching and how it feels. So just noticing now what your hands are touching. And do your hands feel warm? Are they cold? We're just noticing and breathing. Because you have nothing to do right now but sit here and breathe. Just breathe and notice. And now we're going to bring our awareness to our chest, to noticing how your chest feels right now. Can you feel your chest rising and falling? Can you feel your clothes on your chest? Does your chest feel warm or cold? And then we're going to bring our awareness down to the belly, to noticing how your belly feels right now. And if you notice that you have any thoughts about your belly, it's not always an area that we're encouraged to love. Just notice that you're having those thoughts. And when you feel able, when you feel ready, you gently bring your awareness back to noticing the physical sensations in your belly right now. Is your belly full or empty? Does it feel comfortable or uncomfortable? Can you feel the movement of the breath in your belly? Sometimes just by bringing awareness to our belly, that can bring the breath down to our belly. And we can feel our belly start to move with the breath. And if our breath is going down as far as our belly and not just staying in the lungs, that automatically means that your breath is a slower breath. And when you are breathing slower, that means that your thoughts are slower as well. So just sometimes bringing awareness or putting your hands on your belly can really slow down the breath, which will slow down your thoughts. And now we're going to bring awareness to our neck and up into our head. Can you feel if your head is tipped forwards? Is it backwards? Is your head resting on something? Without moving to touch your head, can you get a sense of the feeling of your hair on your head? Can you notice your forehead, the feeling of your eyes, noticing your nose, your cheeks, your mouth, and noticing your chin? Just noticing how that all feels. We're noticing and breathing, because you have nothing to do right now but sit here and breathe. Everything else can be done in a few moments. Now I want you to bring your awareness to your whole body. Noticing the shape that your whole body is in. Noticing the parts of you that are in contact with whatever it is you're resting on. Does your body feel comfortable or uncomfortable? Do you feel warm or cold? Notice if you're feeling peaceful. Are you stressed or anxious? And we don't need to do anything with this information. All we're doing is noticing that that's what's there. There is a voice inside of you that whispers all day long. I feel that this is right for me. I know that this is wrong. No teacher, preacher, parent, friend, or wise man can decide what's right for you. Just listen to the voice that speaks inside. There is a voice inside of you that whispers all day long. I feel that this is right for me. I know that this is wrong. No teacher, preacher, parent, friend, or wise man can decide what's right for you. Just listen to the voice that speaks inside. I'm going to ring the bell and we'll take 3 slow, deep breaths in and out together. And when you feel ready, you can gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. And you can stretch out in any way that feels good. And in your own time, you can gently open your eyes. So one of the reasons that I love teaching classes online is because people think very often that in order to practice meditation or yoga, you need to go to a yoga studio or a meditation class, and it's something that is external. Whereas we have just created some peace and calm there. No matter how chaotic things were outside, there was a little bit of peace and calm inside. And that can be done anywhere. And I love showing parents that they can create that within their own home without needing any extra things. You don't need to do anything, or you need to do something, but you don't need anything extra. You don't need like a special yoga studio or a yoga room, or you can literally do it anywhere. Which is why I want to talk about my Peace at Home 4-week course. This course is going to start next Wednesday, so the 2nd of October. It's going to be at 8:30 to 10 o'clock, so it'll be an hour and a half every week for 4 weeks. And it's running at a special offer at the minute of €47 for the 4 weeks, which is going to include recordings of the meditations that we do during the classes. I can't guarantee that we will have the entire class recorded, but definitely there will be meditations, and I will also send out the techniques and things that we are practicing and trying that week with our children. So each week we will come together and we will start with a meditation so that you can feel more peaceful and calm. And when you are practicing meditation, when you are feeling more peaceful, your children will feel it, whether they are asleep while you're doing it or not. You will feel more calm in the morning, and they will feel that. They will just get an energy from you and they'll experience it too. But on top of us doing the meditations, we will also be going through different things that you can try with your children to help them feel the calm, experience the mindfulness. So there will be different techniques. I'm going to talk about 3 different things that you can do as soon as you finish watching this masterclass. And today, and during the course, the Peace at Home course, we are going to talk about different other techniques, and then you will come back and we'll hear how it worked for other people, or hear if other people didn't have time to do it, because there is no judgment. I know that Everybody is busy, whether you have children or not. So there's no you have to do anything. And there never would be. It is just an invitation to spend an hour and a half for 4 weeks for just €47 for the entire 4 weeks. In a space which will help you provide more peace and calm for your children at home. I've got notes. I want to make sure I've said everything that I want to say. Yes. We will not be run at this €47 offer again. This is kind of an introductory, because I've not run this format before, offer, but I also want to make it as accessible to as many people as possible because of the benefits of practicing mindfulness and feeling calm. And I hope that after practicing a little bit of it there, you have experienced some of that and you know how it feels in your body and you know how much it could benefit your children if there was more of that in your home environment. So there is a link in the description if you want to check out more information, or you can DM me or email me. I would love to chat with you about it to find out if it's a fit for you. Or you could just book the link because it's only €47 for the full 4 weeks. Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, please reach out and ask. I would love to chat with you about it. So the 3 tips that I have for you. I'm going to start with what I've already shown you, my glitter bottle. For anybody who has ever seen a class or a live even with me, you may have seen this before. It's just a bottle of glitter and water. Inside of it is 3 different colours of glitter. One of the colours represents your thoughts. One of the colours represents your thoughts is the voice in your head. The next colour represents your feelings. So happy, sad, angry, whatever the feelings are. And the 3rd colour represents the things that you do. So you get up in the morning, you have breakfast, you get the kids to school. And if I keep moving the glitter bottle, you can see that it is really busy. There's a lot happening in there. And I keep moving it, and this is what we do with ourselves. We keep moving. But when we hold it still, which is what we do when we practice mindfulness, you can see that it's starting to sink down and it gets a little bit quieter. And this is a really lovely, very simple to make tool to have for children. So what I did was get a plastic bottle, or I've used a glass jar before. Fill it up as far as here with water, and then get your children to pick 3 different colours of glitter. If you have them accessible to you, you obviously don't have to have all 3 if you don't have them. But one of the colours represents your thoughts. One of the colours represents your emotions, so angry, sad, happy, frustrated, stressed. And the 3rd colour represents what your children do. So they get up in the morning, they go to school, have their breakfast, play with their friends, and then you get them to pour in the glitter. You then fill it up as far as here, put the lid on, and then seal it. And there are lots of ways to use it. My niece and nephew, they have it beside their bed. And then they shake it up when they get into bed, put it down on the bedside table, and then just watch it sink down. And I use this when I am in a school. And if there is one child that, because I only have one, but if there's a child that I can see is not wanting to lie still, they are like rolling about, because I get them to lie on the floor and we listen to some relaxing music. And this child is rolling about, they're looking at everybody else, they're trying to do something because they're bored. And I would give them this, they shake it up, put it on the ground beside them, and they just watch the glitter fall. And it is really lovely to watch, it's really mesmerizing, but the difference in the child is unbelievable. They stop. The problem sometimes is that they'll then start playing with the bottle. But I can't get over the difference that it makes in the child just sitting there and having something to watch. And this is what mindfulness is. We are taking our awareness out of our mind and into these little pieces of glitter and just watching them come down. Another way that I use it is that we shake it up and then we take a deep breath in with our hand on our belly and out. And we do this again and again until the glitter is all or mostly down at the bottom. And that is just a lovely way to get them to practice some deep breathing. And the reason I said hands on the belly is because during the meditation I mentioned Oh, sorry, something on my teeth. I meditate. I mentioned that when we bring our awareness, whether that's our hands or just our awareness, without touching, to our belly, that can bring the breath down as far as our belly. And once we get the breath down into our belly, that means that our breath has slowed down. And once our breath has slowed down, our thoughts have slowed down. So 2 hands on the belly. They have this shaken up, and sitting down on the table or the floor, hands on the belly, and mentally they are counting and they are watching the glitter sink down, which means that they are not able to keep their awareness on the thoughts and anxieties and whatever else they have going around their head. We can't think of more than one thing at a time. We like to think that we're multitaskers, but we're not able to. You can't, if you're thinking or doing 2 things at the same time, you're doing neither well. So the same goes for thinking. If we can bring our awareness and our thoughts into something that is external to us, whether that's our obviously physical body is not external, but it can be easier, especially for children, to start with noticing the glitter and watching that. And that helps them to calm their busy mind. There you go. That's tip 1, my glitter battle. Can't live without it, to be honest. My next one is also a form of breathing, and this one is one that you can give your children and they can then use it in their own experiences, whether they're going into school or like sports clubs or whatever. And that is roller coaster breathing. So it's roller coaster breathing or take 5. It kind of depends on just depends on the age, I guess. But we use our hand. So you're holding your hand out like this. This is the roller coaster. This is our car. And we're going to take a deep breath. Pause at the top. They like to scare you up there. And and you've done 5 breaths. 5 roller coaster breaths. So that is something lovely that your children can do in their own time, or you can do it with them. You can show them how to do it, and then also do it with them. And it could be like a morning thing that you do before they go out. And it's just a bit of crack. The kids love going up and down the roller coaster. They love going down it, let's be honest. Because then also when we get to the end, we're where does it end? Yeah. Or if the kids are a bit older and they're not interested in make-believe, which is really sad, it can just be take 5. So they're just taking 5 breaths. I worked in a school that had classes for children with autism. And I went in one week and the teacher said to me, this child came in like he was really stressed. He missed the first piece of the school day and it kind of just threw him right off. And it normally would throw him off the whole day. But I got him into the bathroom and he sat down on the top of the toilet seat and I said, can we try some of the breathing that Katie did with us? And he was doing his roller coaster breathing, and she said that it brought him back in for the rest of the day, and like normally he would be thrown out for the day, and I just loved to hear it. But what I enjoyed even more was about a week, maybe less later, the same teacher was in the classroom, but she was really stressed, and that child came up to her and said, do your deep breathing like Katie taught you to do. Love it. So that's a really simple one. And then my third, we have glitter battle, we have roller coaster breathing, and the third thing that I'm going to suggest is mindful colouring. So most kids love colouring, they love drawing, so I'm going to presume that you probably have some sort of drawing utensils at home, which means you don't need to have anything extra. But the difference with mindful colouring, which is adult mindful colouring books were a big thing. I think it was either during or after the pandemic, maybe before, can't remember. But we are doing this in silence. So that's the only difference. So when I work with a family, what I do is I give them pages to colour in, but it can be just draw it, it could be colouring it in, and then and we sit and we start to colour and we play music. So depending on, I work in English and in Irish, so depending on which language the family speak, I use different music. But usually it's just a case of into Spotify, relaxation or meditation music, and some lovely stuff can come up. Somebody I know, she uses classical music with her children and it just helps to calm them. And adding the music in really changes the whole atmosphere. So it is a really effective thing to use when you are wanting to create some more calm. Just playing some classical or meditation music, and it's really easy to access on Spotify or YouTube, and we are colouring in quietly. And obviously, depending on the age of the child, they're not going to want to do that, or maybe they will. But even if there was 3 or 4, or like if without forcing anybody to be quiet, you can create an atmosphere of quiet, because you can be sitting there colouring and you're not talking. And if they talk to you, you're whispering back to them. And that's what I found with families, that they whisper to each other. And even if one of the kids is a little bit too young, I'm thinking of one family in particular, that one of the kids was a little bit too young and didn't really get it, but there was still, everybody else was quiet. And that helped to bring up the atmosphere of calm and quiet. And it was just lovely. And it can go on for quite a while, depending on how intricate the picture that you have that you're colouring is. And it is such a simple way to bring some peace and calm into the home, especially at nighttime, like at bedtime. It's a great activity to bring everybody to wind down. I worked with a little girl that the parents really struggled to get her to sleep. So she didn't want the mother to be there all the time when I was doing the sessions with her. But I remember one of the days we were sitting in her playroom and we were just colouring, and that was all we did. And she came out of it so much calmer than she normally would have been. And it was just so simple, and it is really simple. That's the point. Mindfulness and meditation shouldn't be another thing I have to do. It should not, meditation, yes, it is something that you have to do, but you can bring mindfulness into your everyday life. And during the Peace and Calm 4-week course, we are going to be talking more about different ways that you can bring mindfulness into your everyday life. And it's not about adding something extra onto your already never-ending to-do list. It is about creating more calm using what you are already doing. And I would love to work with you if that is something that you would be interested in. In the 4 weeks, you will learn lots of different things, and we finish just before midterm or half term in the UK. I'm not sure if your half term is the same time as our midterm, but before Halloween. And that means that by the time we get to Halloween and you have the children at home for an entire week, maybe longer for some people, there will be lots of different things that you can try with them, and different activities that you can play and do to help them feel calmer, and just to create a more peaceful environment for the whole home. And you will also yourself have experienced 4 weeks of practicing meditation and noticing how it feels in your body, noticing what it's like and feeling the benefits of it yourself. So you are more likely to remember to want to do these activities with the kids, because one of the things about meditation is remembering to do it. We have so many other things to do, so trying to remember to do it all is near on impossible. So we will be coming together for 4 weeks starting next Wednesday, the 2nd of October, from 8:30 until 10 o'clock. You will get a recording of the meditations that we do, and also you will hear about the mindful activity that you can practice or try out with your kids for that week. You will have an opportunity to chat with other parents and to find out what things worked for them and what didn't work. And it will be a really lovely experience of just practicing and learning how you can create a more peaceful and calm environment in your house. Because when one person in a household practices mindfulness, everybody benefits. Everybody can feel the benefits of it. And this €47 price tag will not stay the same. So if you do want to do this, this is the time to do it now, because the price will increase. And with regards to the techniques and tips that I gave you today, we have the glitter bottle with our 3 different colours of glitter. We have the roller coaster breathing. And we have mindful colouring. So I hope that this was helpful. I would love to know in the comments or in a DM or email how you found it. And if you're not following me on socials, make sure that you are. It's at Solace Relaxation on Instagram and Solace Relaxation August Relax Kids on Facebook. And check out the website, solacerelaxation.com, and I will have the link to more information at the Peace at on the Peace at Home course in the description. And I am so glad that you stayed with me, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.